Sup fam, it's Musashden, back for another video about a character that I've been drawing for many years, and while I talk about her, I'm going to draw her new character sheet. This is none other than Sioux, spelled S-I-O-U-X, like the tribe, and she is one of the Hunter sisters from my comic book Red. She fights alongside Cameron and Genesis, and she is the youngest and the cutest and just so freaking precious. But Sioux, it seems like her history isn't as long as the other two. It actually is, because Sioux's original name was actually Shuri and Suzuki. Yes, that's because Sioux is actually a combination of two characters from the old version of Element Warriors. Element Warriors is what Red eventually turned into after years of developing Red as a magical girl series. Eventually I just wanted them to be like demon hunters that sort of use magic. So it took a little bit of a break, and then when it came back I redesigned everybody. That was around 2007. That's when Genesis got her hair chopped off and she was suddenly black, and then Cameron had the scar and whatnot, and they were high schoolers now, and it didn't take place in Japan. It wasn't like a weeaboo thing anymore. So when it finally came back, I thought, man, this 5-man band is just too many people. So one character got completely cut out. Like I don't think I ever used her design again. Her name was Noriko or something like that. Whatever, it didn't matter. She was the mean one of the group anyway, so nobody missed her. And then there was a set of twins. They were comically mixed match opposite twins. One twin girl was into sports. She wore green. Her power was strength. She was the element of earth or whatever. And then her twin sister, she wore pink. She was a ballerina. Her elemental power was heart, I do believe, yeah, it was heart, because I didn't know what quintessence was back then. So it was heart. So that made her like the heart of the group. Like everybody loved her. Everybody loved the twin that wore pink and stuff like that. Meanwhile, her twin sister was a little bit, I don't want to say less friendly, but she was the tough one. So fast forward to 2007 when I'm revamping everything, and the character that I never used gets the axe, and the twins get combined into one person, and that person turned into Sioux. And in the original version of it, I do believe that they were Japanese, just like Genesis, because their names were Shuri and Suzuki, and their last name was Mirai. And for some reason in 2007, I was like, there aren't enough black girls in this. So aside from also making Genesis black, I also made Suzuki and Shuri black. And for some reason, I was just like, I don't want 4 members. I want 3, only 3. So I combined them and they became one person. So the new version of Sioux, she was very much like she is now. She's very friendly and outgoing. She's like the twin that wore pink. She was in the first version of Red. She was a cheerleader, I do believe. And in the first version of Red, she was well liked, or she still is. She's still well liked at school. Everybody at school still likes her. She's that popular girl. She gets straight A's. She's nice to everyone. She's a cheerleader. She's not a jerk. She's like one of those freak of nature teenagers that isn't a jerk. And she loves her adopted sisters, like, more than anything. Like, even if Cameron is mean to her or, anything like that, she's just like, whatever, she's my sister. I love her so much. And that personality trait is actually based off of my best friend, and I actually have 2 best friends, but this my second best friend. Am I 12? Talk about best friends. Anyway, Um, my other best friend, she is just the nicest girl you will ever meet in your life. Like, especially back in high school, she was nice to everyone. Everyone loved her. Everyone loved Dee Dee. I love you, Deeds. And I'm still friends with her today, and she's still so nice. Like, she was so nice to the point that she was too nice for her own good. She never told anybody to get lost. Even if they were annoying her, she'd be like, oh, you know what? Like, yeah, she would just be like, that's just them being them. And that's how she would be with me when I would lose my temper over stuff and just be done with everybody. She'd be like, oh, that's just you being you. You're allowed to be angry. Like, you know what? I still love you at the end of the day. And that's where Sue's new personality came from. It's also where her looks came from, and the fact that when I made her black, I had my best friend in mind. And at the time, I think my best friend had a very short pixie / boys haircut at the time. And I just didn't want to make her hair black or brown, like, because the twins, the old version of her character, they had this really dark blue hair. And I have no idea where I picked that blue that I eventually give Sue in this, or before in the revamp of Red. I don't know where I picked that blue out from. It just worked. And then when I showed my best friend this, she was like, oh my God, is this me? And I was like, yeah, actually it is. And she's like, I love it. Don't change her. Don't ever change her. So I was like, okay, so Sue has got to stay her revamped self. But I still had to update her character sheet a little bit. And so she's still that sweetheart that everybody loves, and she'll always be that way. So on her new sheet, she gets a combination of the twins' power, like always. So she's super strong, and then she's like the heart of the group. So she gets the designation of a Titan, and people are like, what's a Titan? And I'm like, it's a mythical god. Look it up. It's also one of, Jupiter's moons. Or is it Saturn? It's one of Saturn's moons. But anyway, she's a Titan, which means she's just super strong and invulnerable. And she's just basically the rock of the group, like the heart of the group. I was going to call her a golem at first, but golems tend to be kind of brainless and only following the orders of the person who's putting sheets of paper in its mouth. So I decided to make her a Titan instead. And once the S hits the fan in the comic book, we get to see what she can really do. So once again, about her revamp here is that when I did revamp her the first time back in 2007, I gave her the name Sue because it was a combination of Shuri and Suzuki. And of course I had people ask me, that's a tribe, right? It's a tribe of Native Americans. I'm like, yes, I'm very well aware. I am an American and I know about the Sioux tribe that still exists here today in my country. Yes, thank you. And they're like, oh, you can't be so disrespectful. I'm like, how am I being disrespectful to the Sioux tribe? Like you don't know about the character. It's not like the character is a drunken layabout know-nothing. She is beautiful. She is smart. She is powerful. And that's why I wanted to give her the name Sioux, Sioux, to illustrate just how much I do respect the Native American tribes that still live in my country. And she's like the most powerful character in the comic book. She's the strongest and she's the smartest. And they're like, well, why isn't she still part of the tribe? Well, she gets adopted by a family. Like, she's adopted. She has adopted sisters. It's part of the story. Like, geez, man. But anyway, this is me finishing up the shading on my girl Sue. And I kept elements from the girly twin and the tomboy twin with the blue ballet flats and the blue and the pattern in the skirt, but still kept her in a baseball tee like her old version and gave her some bangles. Okay, and here's the finished product of Sue. She hasn't changed that much since 2007, but she's still gorgeous. Look at my pretty girl. You can see the finished version of this on my DeviantArt and my Instagram. And you can read Red coming sometime this year. That's it for this week's video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I update every Friday, and you can also follow me on DeviantArt and Instagram. I'm Musashden here, there, and everywhere. Thanks for watching.